Alright, here we go with Pandemic of Maeve US versus Halfus Wyrmbreaker. In this fight, he will have various abilities depending on which drakes are active. It's kind of weird for the main tank to activate a drake as well, but, whoops, there's the spellbook. But it shouldn't make too much difference as long as you aren't, the only one that's really time-sensitive for release is the Storm Rider. Speaking of which, the drakes we had active this time were the Time Warden, the Slate Dragon, which is the one I released, and the Storm Rider. The reason you absolutely need the Storm Rider out as soon as possible is because that slows down Halfus's cast time, and that makes his large Shadow AoE interruptible. The first one is essentially non-interruptible, but you don't want to wait, and yeah, you need as many of them interrupted as possible. The Time Warden gives his Proto-Behemoth the ability to cast Fire Barrage. Now I should say it's if the Time Warden is available, the Proto-Behemoth gets that ability. And by activating the Time Warden, you simply slow down the travel speed of the Fire Barrage missiles. And that's those pulsing red circles on the ground. If we didn't release Time Warden, then they would just sort of explode immediately and you wouldn't be able to move out of them. And the final drake is the Slate Dragon. The ability that Halfus gets when the Slate is available is a stacking Mortal Strike debuff. I think it's 4% or 8% per application. I think it's 4% on normal mode. But it can still add up pretty quickly. But when the Slate Dragon is activated, it will occasionally stun Halfus for 15 seconds. So that's actually half the duration of the MS debuff, so you just need a little bit of good RNG and you'll be able to drop your stacks. So at the start of the fight, we released all 3 of the drakes, and we killed them one at a time. I tanked Halfus on 1 drake, and we had our other tank 2 drakes, and we would occasionally taunt back and forth with Halfus because of the Mortal Strike, which meant that whoever was taunting Halfus would have to taunt one of the 2 drakes on the other person, just keep the damage evenly distributed. So now that all the drakes are down, we kind of just tank and spank. Once he starts getting lowish on health, he'll start casting Furious Roar right here. And that's an AoE stun that does some damage. The real danger, though, is you see it messes with interrupts, so we got hit by the Shadow AoE, and it can also stun people while they're standing in the fiery circles, so they're going to be hit by Fire Barrage. Halfus does have a pretty serious enrage timer, but since whenever you release a drake he gets 50% increased damage taken, it's actually not terribly hard to meet it. There you go, and we even got an achieve.